Strawberry Shortcake, Blueberry Muffin Sweet Sleeper doll. She's here because she's the inspiration for today's art. Isn't she cute? I'm gonna set her right over here. So she can see what we're up to. I've already done some of the steps for this art ahead of time. I started by sketching on my computer with the art program Sigh. I prefer to use Sigh as my drawing program. I've tried other ones, but I'm stuck in the early 2010s. After I drew our sketch in Sigh, I traced each of the pieces and created files on my Cricut. Then I cut them out carefully. Each piece is designed to fit together perfectly, just like the sketch looked in the art program. And now all the pieces are ready to be assembled. I have a glue stick. Elmer's Craft Bond brand. This glue is a little bit stronger than a typical Elmer's stick. It works pretty well, I would say. I'm going to set it right here. I've also got some scissors. They look like a little bird, a little bird, a little bird, a little bird. It's very cute, like stork. It reminds me of Over the Garden Wall, if you've ever seen that cartoon. The scissors to snip, snip, snip the feathers away. I also have a couple of other tools. I've got a brush, a brush, a brush, a brush, a brush. This is going to help me with this watercolor pencil, because I like to add a little bit of blush onto the paper so the characters have cute little pink rosy cheeks. So we'll be using those shortly. Well then, I think we should get started. Got my first bunch of pieces to put together right here. I'm going to move these ones a little bit. I'll get to those later. These first pieces are going to help assemble her head and her face, her head and her face, her head and her face. I've cut out some different layers of pieces. What I like to do with my paper art is to make it really easy to assemble. So I create things like little notches, so I can easily tell what lines up where. I also cut layering into the pieces, so when they stack up, each color shows through the way I want it to. Brush those away. The bottommost layer of this piece is actually part of her pigtails. I've got two pieces and they sit nicely on top of each other like this. Although I think it needs to go this way. Nope, it goes this way. It's this pretty light blue color, just like her pigtails and her doll. And the little notch up here helps me line it up. do the next part. I'm going to set this aside a little bit. Now we're going to layer her face. Her face, her face, her face, her face. This is the bottommost piece, the lowest one. It's a darker color than her skin tone, you can see. So it gives an illusion of shadows on her face, shadows on her face. The second layer will be this blue for things like her eyelashes and her eyebrows. Eyebrows, eyebrows. And the third layer will be her face, the top layer. This is her skin tone. Is this kind of peachy color. And before I put them together, I'm going to actually blush her cheeks and a little bit kind of near her nose. I have this watercolor pencil. It's dry right now, but what I'm going to do is just moisten it with this alcohol wipe. Just a little bit. I'm going to test it on the back and make sure that's working properly. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we're going to just lightly pencil, 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 pencil over her cheeks. Pencil. How cute. Now I'm going to take that same alcohol wipe and get my paintbrush just a smidgen moist. And we're just going to give it a little blend. A little more moisture. A little more blend. It creates a very subtle effect, but it's very cute. Very cute, I think. Very cute, I think. I'm going to add just a little bit more around her. I'm going to add just a little bit more on her mouth. Just give her a little bit of a lip. A little bit more of a lip. A little bit of moisture. Just enough. And there she is. So cute, so cute, so cute. Let's glue those pieces together now. First, the bottom layer. To the blue. I'm going to set this part on top and line it up with the notch on top that I made. And this notch on the side that I did by accident, but is actually pretty helpful, I would say. And I give it a little tap, 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 tap. My hands are getting sticky, sticky, sticky. From the glue, from the glue. Kind of looks a little funny right now, doesn't it? Next layer. Now we add some sticky glue on this layer. I'm going to stick the next one on. Line it up. Oh, it's not quite together. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. If it's not lined up quite right, then it's going to get funny. Ta-da! Look at her little face. Look at her little face. She's got her eyes closed because she's going to be sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. most of this you're not going to actually see because it's going to be underneath the hat. Under the hat. This color blue is really pretty. I have a lot of different paper that I use to make art, so I have pretty much any color that you can imagine. So I picked this one because I thought it looked nice with the other colors we're going to be seeing later. It's going to complement really well. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. There we go. Stay stuck there. There we go. Look at how nice that looks. It's so cute, so cute, so cute. Moving on now, moving on, moving on, moving on. Let's set our little head right here for a second. Let's do the hat. Let's do the hat. I've got 3 pieces. 3 pieces, 3 pieces. 1, 2, oh, sticky, 3. And by layering these pieces, it's going to create some nice texture too. This was the closest kind of paper that I had to the texture of her hat without having to create that myself, because I was feeling a little bit lazy with this part. I'm not going to put the glue all the way to the top though here. I'm not going to glue all the way to the top. Because then it's got a little bit of a curl in it from how I took it off of the Cricut mat. It's a brand new mat, and sometimes with a brand new mat, it's a little too sticky so the paper doesn't come off quite right. And the rule of thumb is to pull the mat away from the paper, but I was being naughty and pulled the paper away from the mat, so don't do that. Don't do that, don't do that. But I like because it kind of curls and it looks like her hat is slouchy. It's got a little like wrinkle in it. I'm gonna glue on this one. Now under normal circumstances I'd probably be done assembling by now, but because we're taking it real slow for ASMR, I am just barely getting started. Stick that on there, stick that on there. Sticky, sticky hands. And there's a hat. I grabbed a pom-pom. Pom 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 pom. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Pom 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 pom. Because I thought it would be cute to glue this on as part of the hat, so it has a little poof. And I've got a little one because we're also going to be making her pet mouse. His name is Cheesecake. Cheesecake. We're going to be making a little sleeping cheesecake as well. So I got a little pom-pom for him. Put that over here for right now. So here's her hat, and that's going to sit on her head, something like that. But I'm not going to glue it yet because I want to make sure it lines up properly with my base here. What I like to do is create a big piece that's the full silhouette of the piece. So when I'm assembling it, I can line things up and make sure that everything is correct and nothing's getting funky, but I'm not going to do that yet, so it's going to go right here. So 2 pieces done. Her bows I'm also saving until I'm ready to do that too. Cutting off the battery because it's being insane. Shh, be quiet, computer. There it goes. Okay, so now we're not whirring like a jet engine over there with my computer. I apologize. I had it plugged in and this computer is old and it doesn't like me very much. I've angered the beast. When a computer is like 10 years old, you have to treat it like a horse. You can't scare it. It's always listening. there's part of her nightgown, and that's gonna line up like so. So you can see there's her little leg, and then that's the nightie, and then she's also got her arms that'll be up here because she's gonna be holding her hands together, yay! Like she's taking a little nap on her hands, real cute, real sweet. This is the front part of her nightgown, that kind of bib design part, so I'm gonna stick that on now as well. And let me see if I remember which direction it goes. That way. There we go. So there's the little front part. I'm not going to draw the blueberries on because you're not going to see it with the way how her arms are positioned. But I wanted to still put it there just to kind of in case you saw some white. I'm going to glue her stocking now together and then put that on. I think that's going to be the bottommost layer of this so it can stick to the base. I cut out little slits in the green, so it looked like a little striped stocking. You're only going to be able to see one leg because the idea is that her other leg is kind of draped over the side of this moon that I've got over here. You haven't seen it yet. I've got this giant moon. So she's kind of laying on the moon, all sleepy and cute. Sleepy and cute. Let's stick that together. A bit of glue. There we go. Sticky, sticky. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Okay, well, I think it's time to stick this bad boy onto the body. Onto the silhouette. Silhouette, silhouette, silhouette. Must be slightly French when you say it. Stick them on there, yeah. There we go. Okay, lovely, lovely, look at that. There's our leg. We are winning. We have a leg. Leg is there. Let's see. And then that's going to be poking out with the nightgown. The nightgown lines up like that. Let's go ahead and stick this on. The other layers go on top of the nightgown layer. I've also got some sleeves for the nightgown, but that's going to go on once we get the arms situated. I think arms are after head. Let's glue body and then head. And then let's do arms. And then we'll finish with like the little bows, and then we're going to do cheesecake. Okay, let's stick this on here. The jump cut was because I dropped something and then said an expletive. Can't say that on a family-friendly YouTube channel. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Look at how cute that's coming together. She's got a 90 now. The pattern actually isn't too bad in terms of representing what we're going for with the green and the blue. And the little flowers kind of are similar enough to the pattern with the berries. Putting on the glue, putting on the glue, putting on the glue. purple ribbons. They're very light purple. They don't show up very well under the lighting I'm using because I have low lighting right now. But they're this baby purple color. And one of them's going to stick right there, and one of them's going to stick right down there. So let's do that. Little glue, little glue, little glue, sticky fingers. It's my hubris for being an artist. It's always going to be sticky. Sticky all the time. And the other side. There we go. Look, she's got her little ribbons now. Her ribbons that poke out from her picky tails. Picky tail ribbons. Now we're going to layer up her arms, and I'm going to have to do this carefully because I've already forgotten how I wanted to do this. Okay. So, I know that this arm is going to be something like this with the sleeve. See, it's going to be kind of like she's got it kind of curled up towards her face like this. So she's all curled up, see? Let's glue that part together. I know that that part goes like that. And then I've got this other little sleeve, and that's for her other hand, which I have some layering on. The intention was, with that layering, that it would give some depth and kind of help distinguish some fingers without having to draw them on. But I don't know if that's actually going to be as effective as I thought it was going to be, so let's find out together. Sometimes that's the thing about art, is it's all about trial and error. And you live, you learn, right? You know, you figure it out as you go. Okay, so there's some arm. Some more glue. Ta-da! There's her sleeve for 90 gallon. And she's gonna be like so. See how her arm is kind of curled up by her head, and then the other one's gonna go right here. The other one's gonna go right here. So she's kind of holding her hands under her cheeky, little cheek. So she's all cute and napping. Let's see. Oh, you really don't see that white in there at all. I don't know why I even bothered. For the realism, I guess. Okay, let's see here. Now these pieces have to go. Which direction was it? That direction. I have to also remember which direction I wanted my pieces to go. Which one's the biggest? This one, I think, is the biggest. So then it goes medium and then small. Is that correct? Let's check before we commit to gluing. There we go. Okay, so it's gonna kind of create some fingers. I don't know, it looked better in the sketch. Sometimes sketch work doesn't translate as well to paper. This is something that maybe would have been more defined if I had finished this one digitally. You would have been able to see my lines. And then you would have seen her fingers, which is a shame because her fingers did look very cute. I was quite proud of those hands. Because those are not always easy to articulate in art. For me, anyway. I cannot draw hands very well. But I'm working on it because that's how we get better. There we go. Okay, so she's got a little hand. She's got a little hand. And this is her sleeve. We're going to put her sleeve on. And I think her this hand is going to go on the bottom. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Oh, it's not sticking. My hands are stickier than the glue right now. That's a problem. those together first, and then move on to the next part. I think they need to stick together first, so I can be really clear with where I want, or how I want them to be together. So she can look like she's got her palms together, so she can go to sleep. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. There we are. And now it's just gonna go right there by her, oh my goodness, by her face. And now she's got a little sleepy hands. Let's get some glue on there. It's getting pretty thick, the paper is, when you have so many layers. And this is not super thick paper, but it's scrapbook paper, so the thickness is decent compared to a typical piece of printer paper. It's got layers. We're gonna stick it on now. Oops, we're gonna stick it on now. Dropping it everywhere. Let's stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it, stick it. Let's see here. It needs to make sure I line that up. Like so. There we go. Now I can see it with the shadow underneath the silhouette. I don't want to make it so it is showing any of the black underneath, because that's my guideline to be accurate to the sketch. Stick, 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 stick. Let's see. So cute. Look at how thick it's getting, though. So thick. We'll do a little scratch on that once it's drier, so we don't make a mistake and pick anything off that doesn't need to come off. So she's nearly done. I'm going to set her aside for right now so we can work on Cheesecake. So this is what Cheesecake looks like. Cheesecake is a mouse. Cheesecake is Blueberry Muffin's pet character. All of the different Strawberry Shortcake characters have a pet. And it didn't start out that way, actually. The original 5 characters who were first introduced as a doll by Kenner did not have a pet except for Purple Pie Man, and I forgot the name of his bird, and Apple Dumpling and Tea Time Turtle. I actually have Apple Dumpling and Tea Time Turtle, the original one, with a very large turtle in his re-release when they decided to put all of the Strawberry Shortcakes with pets. Apple Dumpling had a re-release with a different Tea Time Turtle. So I have the OG, and he's pretty darn cute. I'll have to show him off in my next video that I'm gonna record. I actually think that video might be coming out before this one, but I'm not entirely sure. So there she is. Let's make Cheesecake. These are the pieces for Cheesecake. He's much less involved since he's pretty tiny. He is going to be laying like this. It's a silhouette. He's going to be laying on the opposite side of the moon, which we will be putting together shortly. Let's start with his face. His face goes that brown, mousy color on top of a black, so you can see his little nose. And then he's got this blue in the middle, or at the bottom there, so you can see his little nose. But the problem being, when the Cricut cut him out because he's so tiny, his face really didn't get very clear. So I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and just kind of clear that up a little bit. So here's the X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to open up that little slit a little bit for his eye if I can. It's a little hard to see. Did that do it? Yeah, a little bit. He can kind of be sleeping too, so it doesn't have to be super open. I kind of just want to see just a little bit of his eye. I think that's marginally better. It doesn't have to be perfect because of the way how he is going to be sitting, and his hat is going to be kind of low on his head too, so you're going to see only a little bit of his face anyway. I'm saying he, but I actually, now that I think about it, don't know if Cheesecake is a boy or a girl character. I feel like it actually might be she. Sorry if you are a big fan and I just made you mad. I know how I feel when there's something that I'm really passionate about and then somebody says incorrect facts and it drives me up the wall, so I don't want to be that person. I know quite a bit about Strawberry Shortcake, the dolls, but I know not enough about the pets. I was not as interested in collecting those. Most of my Strawberry Shortcakes have the pets. The dolls that I collect have the pets with them. A few of them do not, if they didn't come with it when I purchased them, because I get them secondhand, obviously, from eBay. Some of them didn't have a pet because it was lost, and the seller only had the doll, and some of them I have with no pet because they are part of that original run of 5 dolls that did not have pets at the time, so my Strawberry Shortcake does not have custard. My Huckleberry, he doesn't have a pet. Alright, there we go, there's his face. Now we're going to do his body and his hat. So let's do his leg. Here's his leg. And he's got a little paw print that sticks out of the bottom of the leg. So we're going to layer that so you can just see his little paw. On the light blue side of the blue. Some glue. And sticker on. Okay, so there's a leg. Get that extra glue off. Now I think we can start to assemble a little bit. So here is Cheesecake's face. And then I'll put the body on top of the face because his arm is going to be in front of his head. While he's laying on the other side of the moon. Having a little sleep on the moon. Nighty night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. So here's his body. I'm gonna stick that right there. Let's see, I'm lining it up with the silhouette. So that way everything is where it needs to be. Stick that on there. And now I'm gonna stick on his leg. Her leg, I don't know. I should know this answer. Maybe next time before I start the video. Okay, there's his leg. See how it's spoken up? So it gives a nice little bit of dimension. Now let's do a hat. Same as before, this has got 2 pieces. So we can see the layers. A front and a back. Now this is pretty tiny, actually. I don't know how well my pom-pom is going to fit on this. It's kind of a big pom-pom for how little he is, but I suppose that's just going to make it look really cute. Oversized pom-pom. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oversized pom-pom. I could only make the project so big because I needed to make sure all the pieces lined up properly, so I usually only make it maximum the size of my Cricut mat. Whatever the biggest piece is has got to fit on that Cricut mat in the program, and I do not have an extra long mat, nor do I want to invest in one because I don't have paper that long. I only have the standard 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. Okay, so there's that. There's the hat. And there's a cheesecake. Look at how cute. Just sleeping away. Okay, let's set that aside. Okay, now let's talk about this moon. Got a big moon. Big moon. initial sticky is just not very good, so it feels like you're not actually sticking, but then after you hold it for a few seconds, then it really does its job. So buyer beware if you would like to try that glue. That it does kind of take a second for it to do what it needs to do. I'm gonna smooth this. Okay, that should be good. Make sure it doesn't stick to the mat. It's gonna go this direction like this. Like this, like this, like this. Stay down there, stay down there. Okay. So, blueberry muffin is gonna be sleeping. Like so. And cheesecake is gonna be sleeping. Like that. So stinking cute. Let's get some glue going here. Oh no, I lost her arm. Was not glued down well enough. I'm going to have to reapply. No, actually it's sticky enough. Like I said, this glue does take a while to dry, but once it's dry, it's pretty good. So I need to be more careful. Let's see here. What do I want it to be? Let's put the glue on this part, I think will be the best plan. Let's put the glue onto the doll, paper doll, all along this edge here. All along this edge. And then we're going to place her where we want her. Make sure that looks good, yeah. And then we're going to press, 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 press. There we go. And then we need cheesecake. And cheesecake is gonna go, keep his hat on. Cheesecake's gonna go right over on that side like that. Put that on there, put that on there. There we go. Okay. And now cheesecake is gonna go like that, right there, laying on the moon. Laying on the moon. Oh, took his head off. Put that back on there. Laying on the moon. I'm actually gonna use the back side of this paintbrush to help press because my fingers are getting way too sticky. I guess I should use that alcohol wipe. That alcohol wipe that I have. This will help. You can see where I was wiping the brush and the pencil. That helps a little bit, but not very much. I just need to wash my hands. Okay, so these are the pom-poms. And they're gonna sit like that. So I've got tacky glue, tacky glue, tacky glue. Let's see if this is clogged up. Tacky glue tends to get clogged very easily, I find. Actually, it looks fine. That's a surprise. Pleasant surprise, I will say. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And plop. Tacky glue. Pat, pat, pom, pom. And same thing over here. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Just a little bit. Just a little dot. A dot will do ya. A dot will do ya. Did you ever have to say that in elementary school or in preschool? Just a dot, not a lot. Just a dot, not a lot. I say that to my students. Just a dot, not a lot. Because young children love to go crazy with the glue. So cute. I'm going to carefully lift it up so you can see. And now let's look. is more obvious in person than on camera. How thick this is, because it's very thick. Impressively so. How much paper can start to stack up. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Pretty good comparison. Did we capture her likeliness pretty well? I hope I did. I think she looks pretty darn sweet. Thanks again for joining